Hi, this is Sean Perrin, and you're listening to episode 66 of the Clarinet Podcast, the show where I discuss all that's new and neat with clarinet with the neatest people in the industry. In today's episode of the podcast, I'm joined by Hammond and Annabelle Moe from Moe-Bleichner Music Distribution to discuss their new product called the Match Pitch Barrel. This barrel was my pick for Neatest and Newest item at ClarinetFest 2017, and it features an adjustable length between 63 and 67 millimeters, durable 3D printed construction, a creative color-coded measuring system, and an amazing price of just $49. Whether you're a student in a marching band who plays in extreme temperatures or you're a doubler who needs to make quick switches, this product is sure to be a hit. Now, I'd like to mention here as well that Moe-Bleichner has made the extremely generous offer to donate 20% of the proceeds from this Match Pitch Barrel product and another product they have called the Belt-Held Sack Strap towards the Hurricane Irma relief effort. You can purchase the item directly from Moe-Bleichner's website, which I'll link to in the show notes, or from clarinet.com. This offer will be valid from the release of today's episode on September 18th, 2017 until the end of the month. For detailed show notes for this and all other episodes of the podcast, head to www.clarinet.com. There you can also find out how to support the show on Patreon, and I'd love to thank this week our latest backers, Kristen C., Lisa C., and John B. Thank you so much, guys, for helping bring the podcast to everyone all around the world. And you also might notice an improved sound. This is because I'm using a brand new microphone called the MXL 770, and this was made possible directly by the support of the Patreon backers. So thank you to all who help support the show on a weekly basis. This episode of the podcast, one lucky clarinet listener will win a Match Pitch Barrel. I'll be doing the draw and announcing at the very end of the episode, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening, and now I bring you Claire and Annabelle after a message from our sponsor, D'Addario Woodwinds.
Sanding, shaping, balancing. For centuries, mastering your instrument meant mastering these crafts too. But now, D'Addario is refining craftsmanship for the 21st century by refining their reeds and mouthpieces with the world's most innovative techniques, so you can spend less time sanding, shaping, and balancing, and more time perfecting your own craft. To learn more about the new era of craftsmanship from D'Addario Woodwinds, visit d'addario.com/woodwinds.
So I'm here today with Claire and Annabelle from Moe-Bleichner Music Distribution. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thanks. Hi, Sean.
You've sent me a really awesome new product that you guys have, and I had the experience to try this out at ClarinetFest this year. It's called the Match Pitch Barrel, and it's a very affordable, priced at just $49 product that is adjustable between 63 and 67 millimeters. Why don't you give us the listeners, a quick rundown about how you guys came about this product and some of its innovations?
The big thought was that with most of the adjustable barrels that you can get that are out there, they're really expensive and they're really not priced in a way so that somebody who would really need it but doesn't need it all the time, or even, a student that has trouble, matching the pitch of the orchestra that they're playing in, can really just get their hands on one and really use one. So it was really the idea to get it down to a price point where it's a neat addition for people, and we really wanted to get it under a $50 price point to make it affordable and make it nice to use. So it really, we've had super positive response from everyone, band directors, people who do marching with the temperature differences, so it really just throws everything out of whack. But also a lot of professional players that, they're not going to use it all the time, but they will use it whenever they can tell that there's going to be difficulties regarding the pitch with temperature and just all the different aspects that come into it. So I really think that was actually a big part of the development, was the price point, to get it to that point where it was really good and the sound was there, but it wasn't quite so expensive.
Yeah, I have to say that I, as someone who's been in marching band before, this would have been a godsend back then, because we played back, in Calgary here, the temperature is so off the wall. In the summer, it's about 30 to 40 degrees Celsius, which I guess is, 80 or 100 degrees Fahrenheit kind of thing, right? And then in the winter, it's minus the same. Like, it literally could be minus 40, and in the Stampede band, you'd be outside playing in that kind of weather. It's terrible. So of course you don't want a wooden clarinet. But what you would need as well is something like this, which not only lengthens the barrel, but allows for it to be very short, because of course when you play outside in minus 30-degree weather, you're playing rather flat. So I imagine these would be quite popular with marching bands. Where you've sold them all over the world now.
Yeah, we've sold them actually. We've sold them to Turkey. We sold them to. We're actually currently setting up a distribution in Scandinavia. So they're going to cover Norway, Sweden, and all the Scandinavian countries up there. We're setting up a distribution in China. We're in talks with a distribution in Russia as well. But we've sold them to El Salvador, Brazil, Canada. We sold them to
South Korea.
We sold a lot to South Korea as well.
Wow.
They really hit really well there.
Well, it's such an interesting design. How did you decide on the little, for those who haven't seen it, I mean, first of all, head to clarinet.com and check out the show notes for this episode. I'm going to put up a little video of me kind of showing how it works, and they've got one up too. So no need to imagine over the podcast how it looks. Just go have a look. But it's got these little kind of dots. There's a red dot, and you kind of line the red dot up with the other dots, and that gives you your lengths. And it's funny because my wife, who honestly doesn't really care much about clarinet accessories, but she she saw this as I was unboxing it, because I bring various things home and I show her, and she's like, oh, very nice. But this one, she's like, wow, those are so cute. What is that thing? And right away she was sort of trying to get it adjusted and stuff, right? So I imagine kids, when they see this, are just, over the moon with thinking it's cool. So how's the reception been with kids?
Actually, really well for that exact reason. We really wanted it to be flexibly adjustable. So you can really go in between too if you ever needed to. But we obviously needed a point of reference. We really wanted there to be a quick and easy way to tell, but also for band directors to maybe be able to say, oh, I'm going to need you to go on blue, I need you to go on yellow, so that even if they have beginners, they don't have to start with you. So I need you to be at like a 64 right now, and then the student looks at it and is like, what is a 64? So it just really was just very intuitive, and so we had a really positive response, especially also at ClarinetFest, and we're really excited to actually take it to some of the educator shows as well, to really get it out there to band directors and to students directly and parents, and to just get it into the hands of the people that really need it, and actually at this point now also can afford it, which is really nice. So that was really part of the design, and we really wanted it to kind of have that effect on people and for it to be fun and a cool accessory to have that is helpful and a fun addition to your clarinet.
Yeah, no, I think so too. You know what? The most interesting thing to me is like, with children, sometimes they're not fully spatially aware yet either. If they're very young, and I can't tell you the number of times I go to a clinic and I'm helping them, learn how to tune for the first time. And I'll tell one kid like, oh, okay, little Johnny, pull out a millimeter. And then I tell the girl next to him the same thing or something. And a millimeter to these two kids is something completely different. Like one's barrel's about to fall off and the other has pulled it like maybe a hair, So this, if I was able to tell them like, yeah, go to the yellow dot, I think it would be so much easier for them in that way. So yeah, very, very cool. What is the maintenance like with this? Because I noticed when it arrived, it had a little bit of kind of some sort of lubricant in there. Like I could kind of see. Do you have to re-oil it?
No, so with those we grease them after production, and then honestly you're set. If it does come up that you need to re-grease it eventually, which I honestly don't foresee most people needing to do that, but they are disassemblable. So there's actually a pin in the barrel, and what that does is it stops the barrel at 67 millimeters. However, the pin is it's hollow, so you can break the pin. It was designed that way because you don't want to break the barrel. So the pin actually does come out. It's spring-loaded, and so you can disassemble the barrel completely. We have the pin in there because you don't want students in band just disassembling their barrels losing half of it. So exactly. So the pen is it's not a necessity for the barrel to work, but they do come with replacement pens. So if something happens to the pen, you have a couple of replacements and you're set. So with that, it's that way you can disassemble and just a little bit of cork grease.
Yeah,
And,
just if you realize that it starts going more, it kind of harder to turn. Since it doesn't usually disassemble completely, there isn't really much, use on it. It's not like the oil needs to be done, or like the grease needs to be done like every year or anything like that. Just if you do see it, it's not really that different from doing anything else with your instrument. It's a pretty straightforward process, and that's really all the maintenance you could ever need on it. They're 3D printed. So
yeah, I was just going to say, tell me a little bit about the process. I mean, I have a feeling that 3D printing is what allowed a product like this to reach such an incredible price point. With 3D printing, we're into kind of a new era of technology where something like this can be designed kind of, on the computer first, right? So
yeah, exactly. It was really a really fun process to get it there, actually, to kind of, because that once the design was ready, to kind of work and get that kind of into a real life application. So the 3D printing was a huge part of that. It's also just a really fun thing that people are really interested in. So I think that just adds another layer of fun to the product when you first see it. We also really liked the material that it is, because it's really sturdy, but it's not quite like an ABS compound, which is really, really dense. So it really kind of works nicely with the thickness of the actual barrel to kind of balance out with the material to really give you a great sound and to really warm up that sound. And it worked really nicely. It was great for first developing it as well, because it's just 3D printing is so flexible in what you can do. Yeah. So it was a really, really good process, and we really enjoyed doing that. And we're looking into expanding on it and doing models for Selmer, and doing one for a German clarinet, and
we're also working on a because you can 3D print a wood material as well.
Yeah.
So that is in the works as well.
As well as we're actually also thinking about doing an actual wooden one, just to see, and it's just a really fun thing to kind of develop further, and to just so many applications to kind of go with this. So we've been really busy with that and really enjoying it. We're actually getting the first Selma ones in really soon.
They should be available, I think, within a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
that's the wood one.
Yeah.
The wood one, wood version.
No, the Selma one.
Oh, Selmer version.
Yeah.
Okay.
The current one really fits anything. We call it deeper face style ones. It fits all the fake clarinets, and it really fits basically, all student clarinets until it's something really out of the ordinary. But we've tried it on quite a few. It fits on the Ubels, it fits on the Fay, and it fits on most standard student clarinets.
And of course, does it switch easily between B flat and A? Like, is the bore something that will work with both?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people just switch the barrel, and some people very staunchly don't, but I've heard many people do. So what have some of the customer reactions been from getting this product in their hands? Any stories to share?
So we actually had a guy who he's 70, and he just started playing the clarinet. And he got a match pitch barrel because he wasn't able to play in tune with his instrument. And so, he was looking for something that he could adjust easier. And he got the barrel, and he was like, this is great. I'm playing in tune. And, as I get used to playing the clarinet and my embouchure adjust, then, I don't have to go out and buy another barrel. I can adjust this barrel so that, to not have to invest in another barrel is really nice, especially, just starting. And it was great to get that feedback. We also, we've had one of our artists play the match pitch on a student clarinet, and Joshua Johnson, he was playing it, and he's like, this is it sounds great. It's there's so much. A lot of times they sound better than the stock barrels that are coming with the instruments. So it's really an improvement on the sound.
One of the things you talk about on the website is that the the student will be able to play more in tune. And because, as you know, clarinetists often start playing quite flat. And at first I thought, well, isn't that kind of a cop-out to just sort of adjust the barrel really short and make up for that? But I think we forget as seasoned players that part of what you're doing is working on the physical endurance. And one of the reasons that the kids play flat is because they get tired more easily. So I don't know, there's almost no reason with something like this that I don't think it would develop a bad habit or something. I just think it allows someone to play music in a more pleasing way. Playing in tune is so important. It's so enjoyable to play in tune.
Especially because when they're playing by themselves and they play flat, like it's easy to kind of correct it and do your thing. Even if you play a little flat, it's not going to sound that bad to the untrained ear. But if you play together and then they come into class and then the band director is trying, because it's not just the clarinetist, everybody wants to play, and so there's not really all that, it just really kind of brings everyone to a point where it's just fun. I mean, that was like a huge thing, just for it to be fun to play together. That it doesn't become this thing where you sound great when you play by yourself and then you play with everybody else and you realize this sounds horrendous, like nothing works.
Yeah.
And so really kind of to bring the fun into that and to not have it be frustrating once you come into class.
Exactly, yeah. And even with my own students, like I find it with a very young student, I get them, tuning on the barrel, getting the right pitch and all that. But of course it does sort of wane throughout the lesson sometimes. But just naturally I adjust my pitch, or sometimes if I want to play a duet or something and I know they're going to be really flat for the day, I just, instead of harping on them about them, I want them to get something else out of the lesson that day. So I'll just pull out my barrel a little bit. It'll be so much nicer to just be able to adjust theirs and have them feel comfortable and learn how to do it. And in contrast to thinking this is kind of a cop-out, I think it's actually going to really allow students to be more mindful of their pitch.
Then you see that, I'm on a 63. That's not where I should be right now. So even though you're there, you kind of in your mind, you kind of go, okay, I need to work on that. I really want to get to a point where I play this on a 65. And then you can just kind of go there gradually. And you can see, yes, like last week I needed to be at a 63 to play with others. And this today I'm on a 64. And you can also just it's really nice to kind of see and to really get, the most out of the playing and for it to be fun, because I think that's really the biggest thing that's going to have them stick with it if they enjoy it, if it's not a chore. So it's really funny because we originally really thought that we were going to sell a lot, like mostly to students, but we've actually had such an overwhelming response from professional players that are like, are you kidding? This is great,
For doublers too. I mean, the clarinet is one of those instruments, or it's the instrument, I guess, that takes the longest to warm up because of the mass of the wood, right? So saxophones are pretty much, I don't want to say they're instant on, but they come in tune much more quickly, So if you've got a clarinet sitting there for the first, 2 acts of some sort of show that you're doing, and then all of a sudden you need to play it, it's going to be flat. And if you can use this thing, even a quick little adjustment would be great. So yeah, I think it's a really awesome product, and I bet you'll get a lot more stories like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much fun to kind of get the response, because we've had lots of players in South Korea buy them, and we had one initially, and he was like, he loved it, and he was so excited, and he bought one, and he was like, this is great. So then he ended up showing it to a lot of his friends, and they ended up putting together an order for, I think, 18, so they could get, a discount. And they ordered all together, and they could save on shipping. And then, next thing you knew, we were sending 18 barrels to South Korea because they saw them. And it's just it's really nice because it's really that price point where when you see it and you really like it, you can get it. You don't have to think about it and then just go, oh my God, I do want this, but I'm gonna need to save up to buy it. It's really kind of reachable for people to kind of have that technology, which I think is really fun.
Where is it available for purchase? I mean, it's directly from you guys, of course, and we've actually got it on Clarinet now, which I'm really happy about, because it is a very cool, innovative product, and actually I would label it the neatest and newest thing I found at ClarinetFest this year, right? But where else can people buy it, if they're looking for something locally?
So currently we're still in the process of setting up distribution here in the U.S. So like you said, right now it's available for purchase on Clarinet, and it's available on our website. And we are starting to get dealers set up. But as of yet, It is not currently available in stores, but if you are looking to get it locally and you talk to a store, definitely we can get it in stores near someone. So.
Yeah, that's a big priority for us because we love to have it, just available for people. Just walk into a store and buy it. But since we just launched it like 1.5 months ago, we're still in that process. And we're still getting in contact with dealers. And we've had a very good response too, but it's taking us a little while to get it.
No, fair enough. It's hard to get distribution all across the world for something like this, especially when demand, picks up right away. But yeah, I think the online ordering, it's not really, people are used to that now. It's not really like it's an inconvenience or something. But so one of the most interesting parts for me is for band teachers or something. I saw on your website that if they buy more than 10, they're going to get a 10% discount as well. So the already low price will be even lower for that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we definitely, because that was a huge part of it, was just the kind of the educator aspect. So we've always really liked to support that and really been involved with band directors as well, because we actually used to have a small chain of music stores, and of course we worked really closely with band directors. And it was always very much in the forefront of our mind, kind of the needs of parents and band directors, and just because it's so important to kind of just get music kind of early on in your education and just really kind of get the passion for it. So that was definitely a priority for us. Sure.
So I'm just thinking here, looking at it, are the dots 3D printed as well?
They are, yes.
What I'm wondering then is there a version pending which might be in one of these colors? Because the barrel is of course black, but what about like a red one with black dots or something like that?
We actually have not looked into that direction at all.
No, okay.
We haven't. I mean, we've been really crazy busy with getting it for all the different instruments, because we have this list that people have been contacting us for Selmers. We have this list that we put them on, and then we'll just have to do an email blast once we get those in, and then the wooden one. So I don't know, but I don't really want to say that there's something that we want to do. It's been great to just try out lots of different things and kind of move forward and expand on the product. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah, we also have lots of people waiting for one for German system clarinets. We've had several people inquiring, and that one's also in the works as well. So.
Well, I'm happy to hear it's a success. I mean, I can't believe it only launched, I guess, a month ago, and it's already been this kind of response. So. Yeah, congratulations with that. So I want to move on because you guys do have a second product that's actually very interesting. We'll touch on real quick here. And it's so funny for me to watch because the progression of things that have sort of changed just through my observations from like running the podcast thing. Michael Lowenstern, I remember chatting with him a little bit on the podcast about, at that time he had mentioned that there was I can't remember exactly what he said, but something about there was a strap he was working on and he was working with someone to develop it, but he wouldn't tell me who. And then at ClarinetFest, I found the strap. So can you tell me a little bit about the belt-held sax strap, which Michael Lowenstern kind of worked with you guys a little bit on?
Yeah, so the belt-held sax strap, we introduced it first at Moe this past year. So it's also still very new. And what it does differently is it actually loops around your belt, or we do also have a version that has suspender clips, so it'll clip onto your pants. So it takes the weight off of your neck, so that you're not carrying your instrument on your neck only. Lots of people, have problems with neck pain from playing for long hours, or younger students who to hold a tenor when you're younger can be really, really heavy. So to have that weight so that it's distributed rather than just being on your neck, the belt held actually doesn't have any weight on your neck. It holds on your shoulders and from your pants. So it's super comfortable. It's also it's a really lightweight strap, so it's really, really flexible. So we're really excited to have worked on that with Michael Lowenstern.
Yeah, we really also liked that it's like a harness, but it's really small. And once it rolls up, it really kind of just fits in your hand. So you can really just put it in your case, and it's super just comfortable to use. and really quick. So then we have the suspender straps we actually got because it's like the idea, what if you don't wear them? Because there are plenty of people that just not belt people, there are pants that don't even have belt loops, so we really wanted to be more accessible.
Yeah, and it's made of like a seatbelt type material. Is that, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. So it's a seatbelt material. It's really, really sturdy. I mean, obviously seatbelts have to be super, super sturdy. So that material is really sturdy, and we wanted to make a strap that is really sturdy, because lots of neck straps, you get them and they have plastic clips, and if the clip breaks, your saxophone is on the ground, and that's a really, really expensive thing to happen.
Yeah.
I've seen it in workshops. It's always really really sad, because you don't expect your clip to break. So they're made really sturdy with their metal clips, and they're a spring-loaded scissor clip. So you can't drop the saxophone because the clip overlaps and it's always holding. So that's really sturdy also. We wanted to just, you don't want to have your neck strap not be reliable. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And Michael Lowenstern had always made a good point, or he made this point in the podcast, I think, but it doesn't feel so comfortable when you're blowing on a wind instrument to have something like wrapped around your neck. Like, there's a lot of important stuff that goes through your neck, like he said, like, blood vessels to your brain, your spine, that kind of thing, right? So it seems like a better idea to put the weight on your shoulders than have a, gigantic bass clarinet, low C or whatever, hanging from, one of the most important parts of your body that's not even that strong, right? So yeah, it's a really, really good idea. Tell me about the little adjustment mechanism. There's like these 3 rings. That's a pretty cool idea too.
Yeah, so that's actually it's a patented adjustment mechanism, and it's similar to if you've ever been camping. So you actually, there are 2 rings, and you turn the one ring, and the string will move smoothly and adjust. And it's actually then locked back into place by the weight from the instrument. So that is actually, because you just turn the ring and adjust it, it's actually super easy to adjust, so that you can adjust it with one hand while playing. Because, if you're a doubler, or you're in the middle of playing and you need to adjust your neck strap, you don't want to have to stop everything and use 2 hands to adjust your neck strap, because that takes a lot more time. And so it's super easy to adjust, and
it's really secure as well, because it's really the weight of the instrument holds it in place. So technically, the heavier the instrument, the stronger it holds, just automatically. So it's just really great. And really secure, and it's really just the most basic physics, really, and it's so ingenious for it to just tilt, and the string is straight, and then as soon as you let go, it'll hold secure. So even if you slip for whatever reason, it will just hold for you. So that's,
well, it is great because with neck straps too, the one thing you don't want to do is you're holding your instrument, and then you got to adjust the neck strap. You have to take both hands off the instrument and adjust the neck strap, and all of a sudden your instrument, which is very expensive, is sort of at risk of falling if that clip fails. So it is a very, very cool idea, very interesting product. And I really wish you guys success with both of these. They're awesome.
Thank you so much. We've had a lot of fun. So it's been a great process, and we've loved working with all the people that we've worked with all the different products. So it's been a really fun, creative process, and we'll just hope it'll continue like that, because it's been great.
So what's next for Moe-Bleichner? We've heard about the Selmer barrels, and I planted the seed for a red one or something. Maybe a purple clarinet line or something. But what's coming up next from you guys?
We actually have a couple of things also for bell tails in the works. We really want to make one for marching. Again, like with Match Pitch, the bell tails is really nice to kind of keep that weight off your neck especially when you're walking. So I think that's going to be really nice. We want it to be white. We're also looking into some coated hooks, because we've had some requests for that. So for the bell tails as well, to kind of increase security. And then we've really just been looking all over the world with match pits especially. We've just been getting so much feedback. So we've really been working with distributors a lot, and we've been contacted by people all over who I love this product. I want to get this word out here in whatever country it is that they're in. So we've really, really excited to kind of work more on that and to really just expand on it. We've just had our hands full with that because it's only been, like I said, it's only been, a month. So we definitely will be quite busy with that, I think, for the next couple of months. So,
Claire, do you have anything to say, or I heard you had something to announce?
We got some exciting information today, and we are really, really excited to announce that we are going to be the North American distribution for RZ Woodwinds. RZ makes really, really high quality clarinets in the Czech Republic, and we're so excited to be representing them here in North America.
Well, guys, it was wonderful talking to you today. I think you've got a really awesome product here. You guys are clearly a community-oriented company with some great things on the go, and I think everything you're doing is fantastic. So thank you so much. And is there anything else you'd like to add before we close?
No, I think we've covered everything.
I think we have. Thanks so much for having us, Sean.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I hope I'll see you guys again. Are you at Midwest this year?
I'm not actually sure. I think
we're still in the scheduling process for upcoming show season. So
it's getting really, really close to like lots of other things. So we have to see. But we'll definitely keep everyone updated on Facebook, just social media in general on our website.
So I should have mentioned this. I'm going to put links in the show notes to you guys' social media accounts, but you've got Facebook, do you have Twitter, or where else should people follow you?
We actually don't currently have Twitter. We should.
You're not alone. People don't seem to have Twitter anymore. I think it's becoming the new MySpace. Do you have MySpace?
We missed the MySpace wagon a little bit. I think we were a little bit late to that particular party.
I remember a while ago. Did you hear that news? They had someone hacked MySpace and all the passwords were in there or something. And I just remember thinking, thank God someone has my MySpace password. You know what? I actually kind of liked MySpace. In some ways, I miss it. It was kind of a cool.
I can't remember if I actually deleted my MySpace.
I don't think anybody did. I think they're probably also out there somewhere, like in their like hot pink Comic Sans and all that.
Yeah. Back when social media was very new, man, it's come a long way. It's really changed. So, anyways, you've got a Facebook page, you got a website, and send people along to both of those. Wonderful. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, you have a great weekend, Sean.
You too.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Clarinet Podcast. For detailed show notes, see www.clarinet.com. So at the beginning of today's episode, I did promise that I'd be giving away one match pitch barrel. This is compliments of Moe-Bleichner Music Distribution. Thanks, guys, for providing this awesome giveaway. To be eligible to win giveaways from the podcast, you need to be on the Clarinet email list, and you can do this by heading to clarinet.com, scrolling down all the way to the bottom, and clicking on the subscribe button. Now, I'm going to ask Google to help me pick a random number between 1 and 1,129 because that's how many people we've got subscribed to the list at this very moment. And while I do that, please listen to this.
Sanding, shaping, balancing. For centuries, mastering your instrument meant mastering these crafts too. But now, D'Addario is refining craftsmanship for the 21st century by refining their reeds and mouthpieces with the world's most innovative techniques, so you can spend less time sanding, shaping, and balancing, and more time perfecting your own craft. To learn more about the new era of craftsmanship from D'Addario Woodwinds, visit daddario.com/woodwinds.
So with the help of Google here, I've picked a random number between 1 and 1,129, and that takes me to number 637. I scrolled all the way through the email list, and number 637 is Chris Garza. Congratulations, Chris. I'll be sending you an email shortly with details on how to claim your prize. If you get this on the podcast before I get the chance to do this, send me a message at sean.perrin@clarinet.com. Thank you so much for listening, everyone, and be sure to tune in next time for an episode with the legendary Charles Nidick.